All right, here we go. This one's going to be a 357 SIG test, and today we have some Underwood ammo to try out. And in my opinion, some of the greatest loads ever created for this caliber. So the first one, we do have the 125 grain 6-petal Gold Dot. There's what that thing looks like. They are no longer loading this one. It does have your nickel-plated brass and is rated 1,475 feet per second. And for our other one, that one is the 124 grain Nosler. Same with this one. They actually just recently stopped loading this one and they switched to the XTP. Has your same nickel-plated brass and is also rated 1,475 feet per second. So we are going to be testing it out of our SIG P229. That one does have that 3.9-inch barrel. We'll be going through our gel. That is a 10% block. Do over a catch block behind that, so a total of 22 inches of gel. Our 4 layers of cotton t-shirt on the front, and like always, we'll set up our chronograph so we can hopefully pick up those impact velocities. So let's set up and see how these rounds do head-to-head. First one up will be that Gold Dot. All right, we're stepping back to 15 feet. All right, let's see what we did on that one. So it looks like our impact velocity on that one was 1385. So I believe rated was 1475. So, you know, not looking too good. It's actually pretty low there. But I guess that is, you know, kind of expected because it is a little bit shorter barrel. But anyway, so let's check out that entry hole. Looks like we've got a nice good hit on there. You can see right down that cavity and a pretty decent star pattern so far. So let's check it out from the top. Oh yeah, check that out. Nice spiral cuts. Looks like it's carrying that energy pretty much all the way through. And then we did actually make it into that second block. So quite a bit of penetration. So let's see what kind of measurements we have here from the top. Like always, we'll cut these open, get our more accurate cross sections here at the end. But while we're out here, we are right at 2¼ inches. So definitely not the biggest stretch from the top, but you know, not too bad at all. And from the side, check that out. Looking good. So it looks like as soon as that thing came in, started to open up. You can see those really distinct cuts going through that gel. Looks like it did start to settle down just a little bit towards the end, and there it is in that second block. So let's see our measurement here from the side. And at our widest spot from the side, pretty much exactly the same, about 2¼ inches. And that total stretch cavity before it actually started to settle down is right at about 8¼ inches. So, you know, definitely not too bad. And there is that round. You can see it. It looks like it is facing upwards. And looks like it's full penetration depth that we made it in this block is 3¾ inches. So that is a total of 14¾ inches of penetration because this is an 11-inch block. So definitely not too bad. So let's set up for that Nosler and see how that one does. All right, we're stepping back to 15 feet. All right, let's see what we did on that one. So it looks like our impact velocity on that one was actually just disappeared. I think it was 1479. Let me pull it back up. There we go, 1479. So that one actually got right at rated, which is pretty surprising. You know, normally when I do test that Underwood lately has, or I'm sorry, the Gold Dot has been pretty low. You know, it was a super old batch. But anyways, that Nosler did really good, so that's always good to see. All right, so there is that entry. Looks like I got another really good hit. You can see right down that cavity, and then a huge star pattern so far, and you can actually see quite a bit of fragmentation. So let's check it out from the top. Oh yeah, check that out. That is a ton of energy dump. Like I said, there's fragments all over the place. I carried that energy pretty good ways, and we did actually make it into that second block. So let's see, at our widest spot here from the side, we are right at, let's see, let's try that again. 3 1/4 inches, so actually quite a bit more than that gold dot. So let's check it out from the side, and hopefully you guys can see this, but same thing from the side. So as soon as that thing came in, pretty much exploded. You can see that fragmentation all over the place, pretty much that whole track. And then it did start to settle down just a little bit, and then we did make it into that second block, but just barely. So at our widest spot here from the side, we are right at 3 3/4 inches. So a little bit more from the side than the top, but it's usually how it goes. And that pretty much all that damage path until it did flatline, we are right at 9 1/8 inches. So definitely quite a bit there, but man, check that out. There's a ton of fragments in there. And then we did make it into that second one. It is this round here on the top, the shorter penetrated one, and it is actually facing forward. So at our leading edge, we are right at 1 3/4 inches. So that was 12 3/4 inches of total penetration. So definitely not too bad. So let's check these tracks out one more time from the top. So the one on the right is that gold dot. One on the left is that Nosler. Reason they are opposite because I did flip that block over. But here is that gold dot track. You can see it came in, started to open up. You can see those perfect spiral cuts going through. Carry that energy a good ways, and it is that round there on the top, which is the one that has that little bit extra penetration. And there is that Nosler, same thing. This one actually came in, exploded in there. All kinds of fragmentation, dumping most of its energy that first half of the block. Carrying through, and we did make it that second one. That is the one right here on this side. So let's pull these rounds and see what they look like. All right, check those things out. Looks like they both got some awesome expansion. So the one on the right is that gold dot, one on the left is that Nosler. So here is that gold dot. You can see it open up really nicely. Picture perfect mushrooming there. There's a little bit of gel stuff down on those petals, but man, always do really good. His a little bit disappointing, you know, almost 100 feet per second, less than advertised, but you know, it's just how it goes sometimes, but still did pretty decent. And here is that Nosler. This one is a whole different story. We actually hit our rated advertised velocity, which is really good to see, especially with that shorter barrel. And you can see it does have that kind of a black burnt looking stuff there on the end. But man, it did make it to its breaking point, ripped all those petals off. Quite a bit of gel in this one also. We'll rinse that out here at the end. Sorry guys, a little tongue tied, but definitely not too bad. So really good to see there. So we'll check these out one time from the bottom. So the one on the right is that gold dot, one on the left is that Nosler, and last time from the top. So like always, we'll get our still shot, slow-mo, all that good stuff here at the end, guys. But there we go. That one was old school Sig P229 with that 3.9 inch barrel, testing out some Underwood Gold Dot and Nosler. Thanks for watching, guys. All right, so here's that cross section for that gold dot. You can see it does have some nice splits going on. Perfect star pattern going down in there. I did remeasure both of those. They are right at 2.5 inches. They're actually peaking right at 2.5 and averaging right about 2 1/4. So definitely not too bad. So let's cut this open. All right, and here's after being cut. So this bottom is the right side, this top is the left. So you can see as soon as that thing came in and right that 1/4 inch mark started to open up, you see some nice big splits going on. There is quite a bit of that cotton t-shirt that it drug in, which is actually pretty surprising because that is a very shallow hollow point. So kind of interesting there. But we do have some really nice uniform cutting. But definitely pretty impressive. And same thing here on the top, came in, opened up. You can see that nice stretch going through. And same thing, really, really nice deep cuts and a ton of cotton t-shirt. But, you know, I think wasn't really moving out like it should. It was kind of disappointing to see that velocity about 100 feet per second less than what it was advertised at. But, you know, it's kind of expected. Lately, Underwood hasn't been loading stuff, you know, up to par. That was a super old batch when I got it originally. It really wasn't up to par to begin with, so. But, you know, it still did pretty good. There we go, guys. That one was that 125 grain Gold Dot loaded by Underwood. All right, so there's that cross section for that Nosler. You can see I think there's some huge splitting going on. See right down in there is actually quite a bit of fragmentation going on. Same on this side. Huge splitting. I did remeasure these. They're peaking right at 3 3/4. They're actually averaging right 3 3/4 also. So definitely quite a bit, you know, bigger stretch cavity than that last one, which was expected. This one actually hit advertised velocity. So pretty nice. Let's cut it open. All right, and here's after being cut. So this bottom is the right side, this top is the left. So you can see as soon as that thing came in, right at that 1/4 inch mark, started to open up, basically explode more than open. And just some crazy splits going on. You can see a huge path going all the way through, but just a massive amount of energy dump. And you can see that gel is literally barely hanging on. It really jumbled that stuff up. But man, you can see a couple of those petals down in there. Same thing on the top, came in, started to open, another huge path. And same thing with this stuff, man, just barely hanging on. And it's usually pretty typical for this round, you know, no matter what barrel length I test it from, it's usually pretty devastating. So it kind of sucks that they aren't loading this at the moment. Hopefully they do bring them back, but you know, definitely was a good one. But there we go, guys. That one was that 124 grain Nosler, and that one was loaded by Underwood. Thanks again for watching, guys.